Hi, I'm Christine from House of Smocking, and in this video I'm going to show you how to do step 2, which is to do the placket on the bishop and do the neck binding. So I've already made a start, so I've got my continuous placket and I've sewn it down the slit. So this is the slit going down the back, and I've sewn right sides to right sides, and I've sewn all the way along, following the outside edge, making a parallel stitching line and just catching the V there. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over a bit further and over there, and then catch that, do a slip stitch down there, which will then give me a placket. So now you can see that I've attached my placket. I've hand sewn it, the seam down, and then I've folded that edge in. So the next thing we need to do, and I've done my V at the bottom, which takes the strain off that joint and puts it onto that one joint. So that's just a little triangle at the bottom. So the next thing we need to do is to attach our neckline. So it's a bias strip, and the measurements in the pattern for the size that you're doing. So the important thing to remember when you're attaching anything to smocking is, because smocking actually moves, it's designed to stretch, that you need to make sure that it is all lined up and you've centred everything. So this is the right side of my bias, so I've marked the centre, and I've still got my thread in from when I did my smocking to mark the centre of that. So that's where I start pinning. Now, because this is quite thick fabric, I'm just using a single layer of bias rather than putting it on double and then folding it over. So I just have a single thickness. So I've marked the centre, and I'm lining the top of my bias up with the top of the smocked edge. And then I want to pin the other end, allowing enough for a seam allowance at the end. And I'll pin both edges like that. And you'll see that I've left my top pleater threads in so that I can pull my neckline up to fit the bias. And by pinning it at the centre, it means that the pleats on one side will be the same amount of pleats on both sides, so you don't get lots of pleats bunching up at one side and them loose at the other. So I will pull that up till the pleats fit nicely, spreading them out evenly, and then I will pin all the way along. So now you can see I've pinned my bias all the way along and spread my pleats out evenly either side of the centre. So because I've back smocked the top row of my smocking, I can use that as a stitching guideline. So I will stitch just in there, so it lines up, and when I turn it over it should be nice and straight. So now you can see I've attached my bias, and I'm quite pleased with that. Normally I would prefer to pipe the yoke, but this is just such a tiny little outfit that it would be just too bulky. So the next thing to do is to fold over the edges, fold the top over, and then slip stitch it all the way round. Okay, so I shall do that next. If I'm tempted to actually snip off the corners of these pleats just to take out the top edge, just take out the thickness, just to make it a bit softer, but I think it'll be okay. But you can just chop off the top corners, which will then equivalent of layering it really. So just chipping off those. There we go, and then that'll thin it out. So here we have the finished neckline. as I mentioned, I rolled the bias over and I've just slip stitched along the edge. So that's my neckline. It is a 3-month size, so it is very tiny, this. And then I'm going to do some buttonhole loops, ruler loops, and just a little button on the side. And that's your placket in there. So the other way, obviously, you could have sewn a ruler loop within the seam when you did your placket, but I'm just going to do some hand buttonhole stitches round to hold the top bit down. Okay. So there we have the neckline of the bishop all finished, and the next video will be, I will do the side seams and the bottom hem with the elasticated legs. I hope this has helped you. Thank you.